Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So like I said in the last video, we were breaking it up. This will be a 3-part video. This is going to be part 2, chainsaw carving this owl. Today we are going to be carving in these feathers. Yes, I'm making this after the fact, but we'll be carving in these feathers right here, this pattern, giving you guys tips and techniques of how to get this look with just your chainsaw. No power tools at the moment. Now in the last video, we didn't have these done. We had the wing done though. This full body shaped out and roughed out. And this video, we're going to go through and do that. We're also going to create this one talon coming here. All right, three talons, I guess, coming down. And the question was, should we put a rabbit in here or just have him perched? This is just a kind of a one-sided. We're not doing the back side of this carving. You know, we're doing his back a little bit. We're doing here. And in this video, we're also doing the feathering here. Now, this will be all chainsaw work in this video for the most part. We do get into the die grinder a little bit here on these talons. Now, the third part of this video will be just pretty much all die grinder work. This video also, I don't have it here yet, but I asked in the last video if we're putting a rabbit in. And at this point, I don't know. So we'll know by the end of this video, though, if we're going to add a rabbit or not. Siri's in. So give me a thumbs up, guys. Hit subscribe, hit that bell, and make sure you don't miss any future uploads. Let's start making some sawdust. All right, guys, picking up where we left off in the last video, detailing the back of that wing. This video, we are going to get into feathering, layering feathers, different angles, and just working on different feathering I'd say techniques, but it's pretty much going to be all the same. You know, we're going to be using the chainsaw. Right here, I'm just rounding off edges. So before you start feathering, go through and sort of round off edges with the nose of the bar, or you can use an angle grinder if you want and just kind of sand some spots back. Here, you notice how we have the overlap over the top shoulder from that last cut. I don't want to remove a ton of that material yet. I want to leave that because we're going to make those feathers overlap. So you can kind of see the angle of the saw on the left. I know on the right this camera shot is garbage, but in a minute it will change so you guys can see those cuts much, much better. Just kind of pointing out what we're doing with the tip of the bar. There you go. So kind of just swooping across. Keep in mind for kickback, as usual, guys, you know, it's really important that you guys are wearing your chaps, gloves, earmuffs, eye protection. I like wearing a dust mask and safety-toed shoes. I realize we're carving, but still, you know, it's a good idea to have all your safety gear and be safe. Usually it's when you're comfortable and you're slacking, that's when you get hurt. So what we're doing is we're working these lines down and around. All right, as you guys can kind of see, like the left, you see the angle of the saw for the upcut. All right, getting down underneath the feather just a little bit, not even a quarter of an inch. We're just making lines. We're not necessarily removing a ton of stuff. But that's what a lot of this video will be. Now here I'm creating some separation in, if you want to call it the cheeks, going up around into the face. When we get to it, we will have some feathers kind of layered here so he's kind of, you know, fluffed out. Now, a lot of this video is going to be repetitive. I could have shortened it up, but I was thinking it would be better to just leave it, this portion, in long form, because as you get to different points and corners and things like that, you can kind of just see the flow and how, you know, how to stop and start and pick up where you left off. Sometimes if we break these videos down, it's a little bit harder to get that concept. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm perfect at these feathers by any means. These are a lot closer, though, these days to what I want to see. But just like you guys, it's all about practice and how much time you put in. As far as it goes for me, I haven't really picked up the saw a whole lot in the last few weeks. I've been working on a lot of other projects, furniture and some interior stuff for a customer, creating a custom fireplace mantle and things like that. So, you know, a lot of you guys have been following me for a while know I'm all over the place as far as work goes. And, yeah. So anyway, we've moved over to the back side. Now these lines are very shallow. As you can see, they kind of have a V sort of shape, or like a bird flying away in the distance kind of look. And you just take the nose of the bar and kind of swoop down. It's kind of going to be the same thing up here too. Kind of want the idea of like the head's twisting, so I'm kind of just, adding a little bit of a different angle to those feathers by flipping the saw. Really hope these videos are helping you guys out. If you've been watching, be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all, and turn on those YouTube notifications. By doing this, it tells the YouTube algorithm people really are interested in my channel, suggests my videos to new viewers, and gets my work out there. And it really is the easiest and cheapest way to help me grow my channel. And I really, really do appreciate you guys. We are working our way up to 20,000 subscribers right now. I set a goal of us to hit 30,000 by the end of this year, 2023. I got a brand new steel MS-170 I want to give away when we hit 30,000. So I'm really hoping we hit it by the end of December 2023. And then, we'll give that brand new steel MS-170 away. Kind of getting those layered feathers here, shaping the top portion of that cheek area back so the feathers underneath stick out just a little bit farther. The idea is to give, in my mind, is to give this carving as much depth as possible. In order to do that, we've got to create layers and slowly remove material. Remove too much material, you won't have as much depth. So, that's why we're kind of working our way up with the feathers, and we're slowly cutting some material back. So now those cheeks kind of step down onto the feathers, and then the upper neck, and then the wing area. So we're moving here into the back side of the owl. We're kind of doing that same process we did on the front as far as the neck goes, but I'm not going to do this all the way down. We're going to do this until we get, if you look on the left, see the wing starts really round right there. The saw just kind of touched that area. I'm going to get down maybe just a little bit more, and then we're going to change this pattern after we fill this area in just a little bit more here. We're going to change this pattern to something that's a little more rigid, a little more specific looking, and that's just to kind of break up the feathering, just to kind of give it a little bit of a different look so it's not all the same going down the back. Now you could keep doing this pattern all the way down to the top of the tail feathers and stop, or you can transition into this one. Now this will be more of a diamond pattern, so we're trying to keep these fairly close, fairly even, these lines that come across at an angle. You guys can see the saw angle to the bird on the left, and you can see these angular diagonal lines, I guess, I'm making. We're trying to keep that spacing the same as close as we can. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Wildlife and real animals are not perfectly symmetrical, so it's okay if they're not. But just think about, where you're going with your lines, and you're stopping. So I stopped really there because that's going to be the top of the tail feathers, and I don't want to go, all the way down and have it be boxy. Now those tail feathers will end up getting cleaned up more once we get into the die grinders, but now we've got our pattern laid out. Looking at the bird, where do you need to put some lines? Where do you need to add detail? That's backside, don't really need to do that, but just throwing some in there anyway. The idea though is the more detail you add, the slower you go, the more detail you add, the more you think about the piece, the more you study your subject, study other carvers' work, study, this piece, look at photos, hang photos up. I got a photo up in the background there. And just use that, get the subject in your head before you go out to saw, and then put up some pictures and study those photos while you're running the chainsaw. And it's really, really going to help you. I like to think my videos are going to help you with your cuts and the idea of how to achieve the look. I'm still learning and growing myself every day. Because the joys of being self-taught, you just kind of, you roll with it, you learn something new, you try different things. I don't keep my techniques super rigid, knowing that they may change because, you might see somebody or talk with somebody who's got a better way of doing it, or, makes it look more realistic. You know, there's just always somebody better, and it's always great to be able to learn from them and talk with them. So I always, like I try to tell you guys in other videos, you know, have that open state of mind where you're constantly trying to learn. The minute you think you're at the top of your game is the minute you're going to fall. Someone else is going to come along and prove to you that you are not the best. They're going to prove to you you're not at the top of your game, and they're going to humble you. That's just the way it is. That's how it goes. And don't get mad about it. It is okay. I do not think I'm the best. I just think I enjoy teaching and sharing what I know up to this point and trying to help you guys hone in your skill, take your stuff, you know, your carvings to the next level. Even just escape from this crazy life we live in, even if it's just for a few moments to create and work on a piece of art and just have the satisfaction of doing it, even if you don't sell your pieces. You know, this can be a really, really amazing way to just disconnect from the world around us and, you know, put on some tunes, take your time, have fun with it, fall in love with it, be safe, and, you know, just enjoy what you're doing. Really enjoy what you're doing. Try not to stress too much. You stress more, and sometimes it gets harder to do, which can be easier said than done, especially when you have orders. So I know I'm talking through a bunch of this like right now, right? But as you guys can see, a lot of these techniques, if you're this far in carving, you have an idea of what I just did on the face. So now as we jump around to the chest, I want to go super, super high angle with the nose of the bar here to cut up. You can't be cutting straight in. Remember, guys, in the last video I said there are no straight cuts. Your saw should just about always be at some kind of an angle, some sort of an offset. If it's straight, it makes a hard straight line, and it is not pleasing to the eye when you're trying to carve an animal. And when you look at it when you're done, like, those hard lines are what stand out. Now, sometimes you got to remove a little more material off the base if you want to get in a little bit closer, which I do. So we're just removing that so I can get in here and just kind of pop a couple more feathers in. Not getting too crazy in it, starting to get straight cuts because I can't get the angles in. So I'm just going to kind of shave those out to show where the two legs are going to be. I say two. We're only going to put 1 foot in here with talons, so that is the plan. So this is a Dixon wood crayon. Guys, I'm going to try to have links to everything I'm using or something similar in the description below. You guys buy through those links to help support the channel. Also, big shout out to my members, those of you that pay monthly to help support the channel. Really, really do appreciate it. It's pretty awesome to have a handful of you that do that. Thank you so much. You know, it's great to get the feedback. You know, you guys appreciate the videos, the work that I'm doing. And, you know, some of you understand the time that goes into, you know, creating a video like this over the course of a day or two, and then of just videoing. And then, you know, here we are a few days later, I'm, you know, doing voiceovers and walking you guys through the process. A lot of unseen time really goes into creating this stuff. So it's awesome to get your guys' feedback and appreciation. I really, really do thank you guys. And, you know, I appreciate you guys. That's why I keep doing this. But yeah. So going in, right, cutting out our talons and our toes and making them more three-dimensional by removing the material from the sides. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory at this point. From the top to the bottom, I kind of went wide and angled in on that toe, and that's what we'll do on the rest. Leaving quite a bit of material behind, but that's okay because we'll use the die grinder to remove a lot of it. Not really a lot. We're going to use the die grinder to shape it when we're done in the next video. The next video will be a die grinder with a 1/4 inch shaft, 1/2 inch coarse green Saburrtooth flame burr. That is going to be the majority, the tool I use for the majority of the video. I believe we'll also use a 1/4 inch shaft, 1/4 inch yellow burr from Saburrtooth as well, which I think is like their fine or medium grit. So it's not as coarse as the green one. It's a little bit, you know, a little less, just for face cleanup and stuff like that. So as we continue on working through the talons, we're just removing that material, taking our time, right? Taking these cuts nice and slow. This is real time. I think it's important to have key moments in, well, the majority of videos like this in as much real time as I can, because I realize when you guys watch, it's like, wow, I made that look super easy, and would it take you 3 seconds? No. You know, I'm thinking about the process while I'm doing it. I'm right here scraping away material, taking my time. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking about my next cut, the look, what do I need to clean up? You know, what is your next step? That's, you know, you're taking your time. You guys should be too. You're not trying to rush through this. I think I had overall in this piece an hour and a half, 2 hours, which will sound crazy. It especially sounds crazy to customers, because, you know, then when you stick $300-400 on a piece, they think it's insane that you only took 3, 4, 5, 6 hours on that piece total, and, you know, they don't want to pay you that money. So that's something else fun to keep in mind. But other people get it, you know, the fact that you've practiced, you've invested, you've done all these things. But that's probably a topic for a whole nother video if you guys are interested. Anyway, so here we've defined our talons, and we've switched over to the dime tip bar. So basically we're just cleaning up around the foot and the talons. We'll be cleaning up our edges on everything else as well. Just kind of be working around the piece, knocking down edges, adding little detail marks, you know, to create a pretty good or high detail piece. I mean, there's still details that can be added to this piece, you know, as far as like little lines in the feathers and all that kind of stuff. Like, this could go to a whole nother level, but I'm not going there with this piece. I'm just not. But we are gonna, you know, do what we can here. All right, guys, so that's gonna be it for part 2, detailing this owl. I don't have an end video, so it's just kind of this shot here, but next video will be busting out the die grinder, adding details, cleaning up, and finishing this piece. So if you've made it this far, be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, leave me a comment. When you guys hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all, turn on YouTube notifications so you guys don't miss future uploads. We have a good percent of people that turn everything on. I'm able to actually check the analytics and see it. So thank you to everybody that's done that. Thank you to everybody that will continue to do that. Also, remember, trying to hit 30,000 subscribers by the end of this year, 2023, so that we can give away a brand new Steel MS-170 to one lucky winner. Let me know how this video is working out for you guys. And remember, stay safe, keep gripping and ripping. Have a good one.